I'm going to call the public session to order at 7:20. Excuse our tardiness, we were just in our non-public session. And we're going to stand and do the pledge. Mary, do you want to read us the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, is this mic work?
Okay, you gotta.
I gotta press the button.
There you go. What's this blue here say?
And I think, okay, my apologies, I should have used the mic to start. So I mentioned we were in our non-public, apologies for our tardiness. I called the meeting, the public session to order at 7:20. We just did the pledge. And next is agenda review. Is there any additions to the agenda that anyone has? Yes.
I think we should move the student presentation up in front of public comment.
It is, it's next. So I would concur with your agenda revision. Thank you. That's an excellent idea. Is there any other revisions to the agenda? All right, seeing none, I will turn it over to Mr. McGuire.
Okay, welcome everybody to Crescent Lake School. We're so excited to have you here tonight. I think pretty much everyone here is a familiar face, so I won't do much in the way of introductions. One of the things you might not know about Crescent Lake is we are very well known for the wide array of extracurricular activities that we offer. We have so many before and after school clubs. Over the years, we have had things like cooking club, we've had basketball club, dance club, nature club, craft club. This year we have things like the Otterbots robotics team. We have Learn to Unicycle on Wednesday mornings before school. And once you can do your 3 laps around the gym, you are welcomed onto the One Wheeled Wonders unicycling team. We have a new club starting this spring for running enthusiasts called the Otter Trotters, which will be training to do a 5K. But probably our most famous club is our drama club, which has been in existence since I went to Crescent Lake School. This club runs for most of the year, and students work on putting on a musical production, everything from the backstage set crew work to the onstage acting and singing. This year, over half of our school is participating in our drama club, where they are preparing a production of Shrek the Musical. And tonight we have a group of students from our drama club who are going to be putting on a performance from this upcoming show. So I'm not going to say much else. I'm going to welcome at this time for our drama club students to come up, and they're going to introduce it to you a little bit more. Can we borrow that microphone for some of our speakers?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. Okay, who's first? I can't remember. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the numbers one.
Good evening, school board members, school district faculty, and Wolfeboro community members. My name is Russell Carbone, and I'm a 5th grade student at Crescent Lake School. Next month, the CLS Drama Club will be performing a production of Shrek the Musical Kids. I'll play the part of Donkey, Shrek's chatty but lovable sidekick. Shrek tells the story of a grumpy green ogre who leads a cast of fairy tale misfits on an adventure to rescue a princess and find true acceptance.
My name is Blake Rogers, and I am also a 5th grade student at CLS. I am in the drama club set crew. I have been helping to make set pieces for our show and will be helping out backstage during the performances. Shrek will open on Thursday, April 16th, with 2 shows at 11 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. at the Kingswood Arts Center. We hope you will join us.
My name is Emma Rogers, and I am in 2nd grade at Carpenter School. I will be playing Tinkerbell and Shrek. We have a special sneak preview of our show for you this evening. 3 students will be performing the song I Know It's Today, which is sung by Princess Fiona, Shrek's love interest, as she patiently waits to be rescued by a prince from her tower.
My name is Eloise, and I am a 3rd grade student at Crescent Lake School. I will be playing the part of the Ugly Duckling. I Know It's Today spans Princess Fiona's life. starting with young Fiona, played by Hattie Cadman, who becomes teen Fiona, played by May Cadman, and finishes up with grown-up Fiona, who is played by Nyla Harrington. We hope you enjoy I Know It's Today, and we hope to see you at Shrek next month.
It's story time. Settle in, girls. There's a princess in a tower. Oh my gosh, that's just like me. Poor Rapunzel needs a haircut, but the witch won't set her free. She passes time by scene, like someone else I know. As years go by, she sits in. As years go by, of torturous existence. I don't remember this part. She wishes she were dead. Skip ahead, skip ahead. But in the end, Rapunzel finds a millionaire. The prince is good at climbing, and real golden hair. So I know he'll appear, and his armor will be blinding, as shining as his perfect teeth. A manly cause he'll propose on me, and our prenup will be binding. About time we set a wedding date, day number 958. I know it's today, the show of today. There's a princess, any princess, take your pick, they are all like me. Not exactly, I'm still waiting, they're out living happily. Ever after better get here, I want 11 seconds left. No one needs these middle bits. Whoops, did I do that? Cut the villains, cut the vamping, cut this fairy tale, cut the pearl and the pitfalls, cut the puppet and the whale, cut the monsters, cut the curses, keep the intro, cut the verses, and the waiting, the waiting, the waiting, the waiting, the waiting. But I know he'll appear, though I seem a bit bipolar, and I'm a vandal now as well. Won't find, I will find, I'm a catch and a very gifted bowler. It won't be long now, I guarantee. Day number, are you there, God? It's me, Fiona. It's me, Fiona. Now I know he'll appear, 'cause there are rules and there are restrictions. I believe the storybooks I read. I can't lie, my white knight, my knight in the street.
Thank you all for the wonderful presentation. And for those of you that didn't hear, Thursday, April 16th at 11 a.m. or 6:30 p.m., the Kingswood Arts Center, Shrek the Musical by the Crescent Lake School Drama Club's folks. So thank you.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really great.
I know, is it so beautiful? I know.
Extremely
They were-
impressed.
Mr. Giesler must be chomping now.
Yeah.
He is known to kind of, scout a little when we're there practicing.
Scout. Okay, are we good? Moving to the next agenda item? I assume, okay, I'll take that as consent. So next is the acceptance of minutes. First, we'll take up the school board meeting minutes of January 31st. I believe everyone was in attendance. I have one suggested edit. My one edit is only the, am I reading it right? I didn't remember the first motion to recommend edits to the petition warrant article, because we made those edits during the deliberative session. They came from, I believe, it was approved by the floor. But I do remember the second motion to recommend a petition warrant article with edits, but not as discussed, just with edits during the deliberative. So am I mistaken on that?
I made a suggested edit.
Yeah.
I made a suggested edit during the process, but I wasn't the only person who contributed to changes to the petition warrant article, if others recall. So I don't know if it matters. Are we all citizens in that meeting?
But, so, yes, but this is for our school board meeting minutes, not the deliberative session minutes.
In the deliberative session section. Was what we're discussing it.
I wanted to be clear that the board didn't make these edits on its own.
Yes, I agree.
So that's why I'm
So
recommending,
should be
because that's why I'm recommending the first motion be struck, because yes, I remember
Yes.
motions were made during deliberative, but those will appear in the deliberative session minutes,
Yes,
not in our board meeting
I agree.
minutes.
I would
So
strike
is
those.
everyone okay with striking that first motion under this section deliberative session? Okay. And then I guess it's kind of a, I found the term as discussed at the end of the second motion wasn't necessary. I just remember we voted and all voted in favor to recommend the petition warrant article with the edits at deliberative. So that would appear as such on the ballot as a 9-0 vote. So I don't know if anyone else has additional edits, but those are the two edits I had. And I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for the board meeting on January 31st with edits.
Second.
So did you get all those?
I can follow you. I don't know what motion you're talking about.
The, under subsection Roman for the deliberative session, that first motion there, made by Mr. Williams, and striking that.
Okay.
And then in the second motion, striking the term as discussed.
Okay.
So just ending with edits. All right. And once you're ready, Kathy, if you could please call the roll.
Tom,
Yes.
Kirsten,
Yes.
Kayla,
Yes.
Dr. Jim,
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
Dr. Beth,
Yes.
Danielle,
Yes.
Nate,
Yes.
Brody.
Aye. We'll now move on to the February school board meeting. All board members were present. I have one minor edit at the end under the Finance Committee report.
What page is that, Brody?
That is page 4. About midway through, it says, Mr. Deshays encouraged the community to attend the deliberative session to learn about and support the budget. I believe I asked folks to watch because the deliberative session had already happened. So rather than attend, to watch. So that's my only edit. Otherwise, if I did say that, then I look a little silly. Is there any additional edits? you have an edit, that's okay.
No, I don't know who the unknown person was. Didn't get that request either.
There's an
In public input, there's an unknown person.
Oh,
wasn't that Tisha?
Oh, yeah, it was Tish.
So that it's correct.
That's right.
Thank you,
Thank
I
you.
didn't notice that.
I missed that. Unknown person Wolfeboro. That's Tish's new nickname.
She didn't say who she was.
I know, and I have to be better to remind people to state your name and town of residence and be respectful and thoughtful and all the other.
I didn't hear.
Okay. Well, good catch. All right, so any other edits? I'll make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes for February 2nd with the edits.
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Beth. Once you're ready, Kathy, if you could please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Rudy?
Aye. And lastly, we have our manifest approval. Tonight's manifest is in the total of $5,813,029.63. Is there a motion to accept the manifest as presented?
So moved.
Moved by Nate.
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Jim. Is there any discussion? Has everyone who needs to sign the manifest, have you received the manifest to sign? It's Kristen Burke, Kayla Hewitt, and Jim Manning.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to check this. Sometimes I don't want you guys to get caught at the end of the meeting. All right, if there's no further discussion, if you could call the roll, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Rudy?
Aye. Next, we'll enter into our first round of public input, 15 minutes total, 3 minutes for individuals, unless extended by vote of the board. Ask that you please state your name and town of residence, and to be respectful, to direct your comments to the board and not to direct them towards other members of the public. Right ahead. Is that mic on?
There is no mic. Speak up.
Do you want to?
Use your teacher voice.
He can talk loud.
You can talk loud.
Is that all right? I'll talk loud.
Will you get
Can you
that?
hear it? Jeremiah Burke from Tuftonboro. I have two things that I just wanted to mention. One of which is I'm president of the football booster club, and so it became aware to us that the coach, and I believe that the announcement was today, the players that will be looking for, or the school will be looking for a new varsity football coach. As president of the Booster Club, I'm the voice, but there are others that I think you all know who's the driving factor behind the Booster Club and everything that it does to the football program. I feel like we've gained a lot of momentum in the last number of years, as I've seen changes over the years, and they've been great, but it's been a lot of effort and a lot of work to get community involvement behind it. If you go to a Friday night game, they're very exciting to be at, and so hopefully as the school goes through a transition in coaches, we can continue that momentum, and the Booster Club will be there to support it moving forward. The other thing I wanted to bring up was about, just to give a quick update for those that might be interested in it, the vocational program for the Marine Tech program. I've been involved in that a little bit over the years, and from someone that operates a business that those students are at, it's great to see the learning that's happening there. You know, I see kids, not my own, but my own as well, come home and excited that they're learning new things, you know, excited about the future that it potentially has for them, looking at further education within the trades. So I think in being part of the New Hampshire Marine Trades Association, from the perspective of the marinas that are surrounding in this area, they're all very grateful to that program, because they're having some youth and some kids that are excited to get into the work field while doing work-based learning and getting paid to do it. It's been a really great program to start off this year, and hopefully, it will continue to gain momentum both in the school and for the local marina businesses. So thank you to all the board. Thank you for the few minutes. Hopefully I didn't go over too long.
Any other public input? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public input and we'll move to the student representative report. Floor is yours. Yeah, here, take my mic.
All right, good evening, everybody. With March now here, many of our winter sports have wrapped up or are on to playoffs. The boys hockey team finished the regular season with a record of 14-4 and will face John Stark on Wednesday at Plymouth State after beating Fall Mountain 6-1 in the first round of playoffs. The girls hockey team sadly lost to Exeter 2-3 in the first round after a tough game. Boys basketball fell short to Souhegan in the first round as well last Wednesday after clinching the 6th seed with a final regular season record of 13-5. And girls basketball just barely missed the playoffs on a tiebreaker after finishing the season going 7-11. Seniors Brady Moulton and Kaylin Blanberger both made all-state teams for basketball as well. A few weeks ago, the track team competed at their state meet where Ewan Nickel and Nora Pelletier qualified and went on to compete at New England's. Looking ahead, signups are out and preseason is in way for spring sports. Finally, for sports, as Mr. Burke said, there's a new opening for the head coach of the football team, as Coach Corey Whitsom recently stepped down. Starting this week, tickets are now on sale for the Spring Fling Dance on Friday, March 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. The week leading up to that will be a full spirit week with these themes in order. Four seasons in a day, country club versus country, Jersey Day, soccer mom versus barbecue dad, and class color day on Friday. Classes are also continuing to work on their lip sync performances, which will be held on April 3rd in the Arts Center. Kingswood Theater has been working hard to produce their spring showing of The Last Firefly on March 13th and 15th, with tickets now available on the website. This past month, DECA had their state leadership conference on February 11th, and Kingswood FPLA will be heading to Manchester for theirs on March 18th. Youth and Government will have their pre-legislative conference on March 14th in the New Hampshire State House as well. The Kingswood robotics team recently went and competed at their state competition on the 21st, where they showed off their robot that could shoot balls at a target, and they did well. Knights Against Hunger held their Empty Bowls ceremony on February 14th to fight food insecurity in our community, and they had a great turnout. That's all I have, and thank you. Have a good rest of your night, everyone.
Thank you. Great report. Next, we'll move on to the superintendent report. So, Dr. Kellyan, I think I'll just give you the mic and you can go through your report. And if board members have questions as we go between, I'll recognize you.
Thank you very much. And thank you to all the students performing tonight. Truly moving and incredible talent. And thank you, Bryce, for your report. I'll just point out a couple things in my report tonight. We're very excited with the progress with phase 1 complete at Carpenter School. So it's over today and tomorrow. The 2 teachers and reading specialists in the modulars are moving into the building. So the whole hallway is complete and everyone is moving in. The work is absolutely phenomenal, and I want to extend special recognition to Phil and Sarah Cousteau, and also Norm, who they were lockstep with Bowen, our contractors. Every time they finished a room, Phil and Sarah were doing more work. They're painting floor to ceiling. They gave us some stats. The project required 58 gallons of paint, 36 tubes of caulk, 2.27 miles of strapping. That's the strapping in the ceiling to hold everything up. Spray foam installation. Train came in and conducted their inspections. And of course, the town gave us the permission to occupy. So phase 1 is just about complete, and the teachers are very happy that the dining is open and they don't have to do lunch in their rooms anymore. So it's very exciting. And we're on to planning for phase 2, which is scheduled to start this summer. And we have some strategic plan updates as well. Questions about Carpenter?
Any questions?
No? Okay. I want to thank the teachers who participated in our Celebrating Teachers video. WCTV, Adrian Champagne filmed, directed, produced the project. And so it was a pleasure. There's a lot of coordination, but once it's all together with teachers across the district, it's very special. So you can find that on our WCTV YouTube channel. Thank you. More to come. Okay, I will move, and I also provided the Carpenter School ceiling stabilization update from Bowen. They included some pictures of the project, and it's even come along farther than you see here. But everyone has moved in. The principal, her assistant, special ed, reading specialists, and it's just grade 2 who's finishing up moving tomorrow. So it's very exciting. Moving right along, next item on my report, the agenda, CLS crowdfunding request. So this request comes every year at this time. For the Crescent Lake School Fun Run. And per Governor Wentworth Regional School District School Board Policy, DFGA crowdfunding, the board must approve crowdfunding requests. This is a request that, as I said, is every year, so it's known to us. And it's also very well-attended and successful event. So I ask the board for a vote.
Is there any questions or a motion? You want to make?
I'll motion to approve this request. I'll second.
Seconded by Kirsten. Are there any comments, questions, burning desires to share with everyone? Seeing none, Kathy, if you call the roll once you're ready, please.
I'm sorry, was Danielle the second?
No, the second was
Oh, sorry,
Kirsten.
Kirsten. Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten? Yes. Kayla? Yes. Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary? Yes. Dr. Beth? Yes. Danielle? Yes. Nate?
Yes.
Rudy?
Aye.
Thank you very much. On to the next crowdfunding request. Double Good Popcorn for the athletics department. This is a department fundraising request, and Kathy O has approved it. She has completely vetted the platform, so we bring this to you for a vote as well.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
So motion by me, seconded by Mary. Is there any questions or comments? Yes. Go ahead, Dr. Beth.
I have no objection to the fundraiser, but being a Scout mom, I am sad that you have chosen popcorn because I can't eat another kernel. Just for future reference.
Great. Any other comments or questions? Vaughn, do you have any comments or anything to add? Nope, you don't have to. You're here. I know you're here probably for the next item, but in case you had anything to weigh in. Okay. Well, seeing no further discussion, then Kathy, if you could call the roll once you're ready, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten? Yes. Kayla? Yes. Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary? Yes. Dr. Beth? Yes. Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Rudy?
Aye.
Thank you. And the last item on my report, boys hockey co-op proposal. So the board may recall we do have a girls hockey cooperative at this time. This is a proposal for the boys. We have a proposal to add Prospect Mountain to our hockey team. This is a benefit. This would be a benefit to both districts because we do have graduating seniors. We have a smaller team. It would be pretty thin. And adding another district to this team, much like we have for the girls, would benefit both districts. So our athletic director, Vaughn Beckwith, has put together some explanations, some details here of how that would work. I also asked Vaughn to provide additional information regarding cost sharing, administrative responsibilities, and athletic trainer coverage. The board had asked me about this a while ago, maybe over a year ago, regarding how do we share that cost with the other district. And, you know, that district, they pay for their uniforms, but that was it. At this point, you know, we brought this information to you, a proposal of how they do it in another district, I believe Interlakes or Laconia, around there, in the lakes. So this is how Vaughn came up with some of these numbers. You're definitely gonna be on the hook to help me out with this. And so this information is here. And I think what we would want to propose is for some of this cost sharing to, now that the girls team is an established team, we think we can start that cost sharing and ask those districts for, you know, a contribution to the ice time. Whereas the boys co-op, you know, if the co-op was approved tonight, perhaps wait a year for that cost sharing. Vaughn's here for questions.
I just, one clarification. So are you asking for potentially, so you're going to ask the board to weigh in on the boys hockey co-op proposal for approving that, and then if the board wants to, we may be weighing in on to ask for cost sharing regarding the girls hockey team.
Yes.
So breaking that into two pieces.
Yes, two pieces, but the cost sharing, for cost sharing, you could say when the girls would start and when the boys would start. Because with cost sharing, you know, we have athletes from Prospect Mountain potentially on two teams. So we would want to give them an answer regarding both teams.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. And Vaughn, do you want a mic? Or?
I have no problem speaking loud and clear.
All right. Well, to get the discussion started on the first question, the boys hockey co-op proposal, and stay there for questions because we're going to ask it. I'll make a motion that we accept it as presented.
Second.
Okay. Is there any questions for Vaughn or discussion? Because I have a
question.
Go. If someone could pass Danielle the mic in front of Tom. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just because, so it does say in this agreement, but I want to ask you so it's clear to everybody. I've had constituents express concern about activities that don't happen on district property. And it says right here that all coaching staff members abide by our policies and procedures, including passing a background check, and they have to follow NHIAA policies and procedures. So it's true that anyone from that district is still passing the same safety checks that any other adult who volunteers with us does?
So to clarify your question, you're asking about the hiring process for other school districts for coaches?
Not necessarily hiring, because I know it's volunteer as well. So I'm saying if someone's going to be involved in these sports and the child's coming from our school or their school, are those adults going through the same background check? Yeah.
Well, I'll speak to what our district does. Okay. And if somebody's interested in volunteering to help a co-op team, they would have to go through our background check process and approval process.
Okay.
I can't say as to what other school districts do.
I can add.
Do you want to?
I will say that NHIA does have rules that they would have to follow as well.
Thank you. Right. So, and in this proposal, however, it could be the case that Prospect Mountain sends an athletic trainer to Pop Whalen to work with the whole team, which, yes, has some of our athletes and their athletes. So that person would have to abide by all the same rules. Yes, yep.
And I would compare that to if any of our sports teams are playing an away game and our athletic trainer is unable to be there, which is pretty typical outside of football. Our trainer doesn't often travel with one of our teams because there's other things going on our campus. We would have to rely on their medical personnel to treat our athletes if an injury occurred.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And I also just, all 4 of the current coaches, they're already employed as high school hockey coaches and have passed our background checks.
Yeah, so we have 2 paid stipends, and then the other 3 coaches are volunteers. But yes, they've gone through the approval process and are vetted.
Okay. I have some questions, so if anyone else has questions.
I have a question.
I guess my question just was, why do we need to wait a year for cost sharing? Because if they're using ice time as well. I feel like they should be pitching in for that.
We can definitely talk about cost sharing as far as what to charge based on student enrollment, and then also based on if it's an established team. Can you speak to those two?
So yeah, I mean, I guess the overall question is, in the application for a new co-op or a co-op team, the NHIA has language in it to address how the program is going to be paid for. It doesn't give any suggestion or direction of how schools do it. And so, as it was alluded to earlier, this format of like breaking down the roster into percentiles is what other schools do, and so I took that direction. As far as waiting for the boys team, that would be our prerogative, I would say. We could ask for full limited or a progressive build towards like the other schools paying for their full percentage of players. I think how schools choose to pay for it is their choice. And when it comes to like budgeting, I think just being aware that school districts' budgets are already in place for next year and are in the town voting process. And so I think that's why it makes sense to say, hey, let's see how specifically the boys co-op, give it some time to be established. And then once we feel like it's in a spot where it's working for both programs, then we can talk about extending to a full percentage cost sharing ratio that is described in the proposal I made. Does that make sense?
Yes, but still just seems a little unfair for us.
Well, I mean, there are avenues that we could do. We don't know what the roster is going to look like for boys hockey, and if we do this co-op, and if it's going to be combined with Prospect Mountain, it could be a 50-50 split. It could be more. Like we talked about, like hockey is an interesting sport where they have a club or travel team season running at the same time as the high school season, and often young athletes are pressured into making a choice to do one or the other. And so on our current Kingswood roster, there's 15 players, 7 seniors. We have 8 returners in theory. There's no guarantee those 8 returners will continue to play Kingswood hockey with or without a co-op. And so it makes it tough. When it comes to like, I understand what you're saying, like, let's get full cooperation and payment. And we can do that. I think it's fair of us to say we're the lead school and give other schools some time to prepare their budgets for it. I'm not saying we don't have to take anything.
I find myself aligned with Kirsten on this, so I think there will be considerable excitement in the other schools that they would be joining a cooperative team. Seems like you guys are pretty good at fundraising. Maybe some creative solutions can be adopted toward helping defray costs for ice time, but I also think it seems reasonable for us to ask people to pay their fair share right from the jump, right from the get-go. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm landing on it.
Are we good with voting on the current motion, and then we can take up a separate motion on cost sharing? All right, so no further discussion on, we're accepting the proposal of that we're going to have a co-op boys hockey team. All right, Kathy, if you could call the roll on that, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Here.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Rudy?
Aye. All right, so now I'm hearing that someone would like to make a motion regarding cost sharing. So, and it sounds like we would like to do cost sharing, this starting henceforth for boys and girls hockey teams to cooperative teams. So do we need to be more specific in our motion? Or?
Effective
And I guess one thing we should be clear about is how we do the cost sharing, I guess. So we're going to do it by a percentage of students on the team from each district. I know Vaughn put in an example in how it would work in our district. So do we want it to work that way, or do people have some other creative idea? Because I don't.
I mean, I think it should be divided by the number of players
Okay.
from each team.
Would you like to make a motion?
I would like to make a motion.
Go right ahead. Would you maybe make a motion to that the school board request cost sharing based on number of student athletes on each team for
Yes.
the cooperative hockey teams?
Yes.
And all of the administrative.
Oh, and all of the administrative support
administrative
costs.
support costs as well, yes. And transportation, is that all included in that as well? How do they do transportation?
We did not.
They didn't hear. Well, do you want to finish them? I'll second your motion, Kirsten, but it doesn't include transportation right now.
Doesn't include transportation.
But we can always change
Okay.
it, and we'll let Caroline weigh in. So do you want to weigh in on transportation?
So far and away, the biggest cost is ice time. This is the lion's share of the cost. And Vaughn and I did have a conversation about a lot of these options. In that, we could get down to more of the, smaller costs. However, the bus route, now, the girls' bus route, they do stop in Alton when needed and go south, or they go north. But there aren't extra routes anywhere for other districts. So, and given that you never know how many students are on the bus at any given time, so it gets really difficult to figure out how to charge with that. And it's our own employee and our own bus. So given all of that, we decided in our first draft proposal to you was to keep it simple and to keep it to a percentage by athlete, from the districts. And then also ask for sharing of athletic trainer duties and administrative duties, because all districts, they have one AD, most have one athletic trainer. And as Vaughn was saying, one's here, one's there, and but when we're the lead, it has been that we do it all. So it would be helpful to have that as part of the support. So that's why we went with ice time. Every school pays for their new uniforms already, and then but also to share the administrative and athletic trainer duties. So that's how we did that. We also discussed that we would, and you probably, this is an afterthought, not a big deal, but we would have to charge those districts as a reimbursement at the end of the seasons. Because, looking at you, Kathy, for a second, because if it's based on athletes, sometimes athletes only participate for half the season for a myriad of reasons, whether it's personal, physical, behavioral. So academic, you don't meet the academic, how could I forget that one? So we would want to charge them at the conclusion of the season, just so you're aware.
Any further comments or questions? Kathy, is the motion clear? No, it's not. It's clear as mud. Yeah. So maybe we could just call it cost sharing as presented, because we're...
Yes, cost sharing as presented.
All right.
For both teams.
For both teams effective immediately.
Next
Oh.
season.
Well, right.
Next season would be...
2026, 2027.
So cost sharing as presented, effective at the beginning of the 2026 ice hockey season for both teams.
I do have a question before we vote, though.
Is that the motion we're all agreeing to? Is that your motion? I'm
That is
seconding
the
that.
motion, yes.
All right.
Do we see that some of these other schools will now want to have practices closer to them, like Plymouth, right? So if they're not going to cost share, they're going to say, hey, if we're going to pay for this ice time, why don't we make our kids drive all the way down to Wolfeboro?
That hasn't been asked of me. Could they ask that question? Sure. I think one of the things that we've talked about that's a little more realistic is potentially playing games at Plymouth or Waterville Valley, possibly. And my thought would be that if we're playing a game, a home game closer to Plymouth, that they would pay for the ice time and the officials in that event. As far as practices, that hasn't come up yet. I don't see it being a question, but it could come up.
Okay, thanks.
My only comment about that is like Waterville Valley's an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
We've
for
driven
us.
further
Yeah,
for
but not for
football.
Plymouth.
Well,
so-
I know you've driven further for football, but I'm talking about a home game. That ain't quite a home game anymore.
But if-
I know it's the nature, but I'm just.
But if 51% of the kids come from Plymouth, right, then why would?
Well, if that was the case, but we know we're gonna have the lion's share of the student athletes.
No, but I'm just saying, it could, right? I mean, that's
The
just,
boys are half prospects.
right. I'm just saying, yeah, I know, I'm just saying, like, in the future, right? I mean, if I'm paying for something, I don't want to drive to Wolfeboro, that's all I'm saying.
No, I think that's valid. I think that's valid. My two things that I forgot to mention the last one was I appreciate the name still being the Knights. I would have been a little heartbroken.
I think it's the Night Wolves.
Well, the girls.
So the girls are the Night Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, we're going to continue, it would be the Kingswood Prospect Mountain Knights. You know, if this boys co-op gets more established, could that name evolve to something different? Yes. It's something that James Christie, the Prospect Mountain AD, and I have talked about, but for now, they're comfortable keeping it the Knights.
Okay. My other question is they're gonna move up a division again?
That's a good question. It is a possibility that they could move from Division III boys hockey to Division II based on enrollment numbers. It would put us over the threshold. However, currently in Division III boys ice hockey, there are 3 schools who have higher enrollments than what our combined enrollment would be. So it means filling out a petition, saying, can we stay in Division III? The NHIA can approve or deny. Hockey works a little differently than most of the other sports that NHIA offers. For example, when the football team was a Division III team, that most sports cycles go in 2 years. Schedules go in 2-year cycles. And the first cycle that you are petitioning down, you're ineligible for playoffs. And then that second year, you're eligible. And if you make the playoffs, you automatically go back to your division where your enrollment places you. Hockey's its own thing. Currently in Division III, I believe there's 9 teams, and there are 2 schools that are not co-ops, us and Kennett. And so I'm cautiously optimistic we'll remain in Division III and be eligible for the playoffs. But I can't say that with 100% certainty.
I have other questions, but not relevant to right now. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Kathy, if you could call the roll, please.
Tom?
Motion again?
The motion is to approve cost sharing as presented, effective for the 2026 hockey season for the girls and boys cooperative hockey teams.
So you make 2026, 2027.
It's starting in the fall.
Right, but no, but the season's considered to be, right, Vaughn?
So the winter season bridges the new year.
Yeah.
So the 26-27 school year, would it make sense to have it be that stated that way?
I think it's implied.
I agree. Put the 27.
All right, then we'll add the
26,
27. Did you get that, Kathy? The 2026, 2027 season? Okay, so that's the motion. Does that clear, Tom?
Yes, thank you.
Is there any other questions, clarifications? All right, Kathy, if you could call the roll once you're ready, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary? Yes. Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Vaughn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Next, we have the chairperson's report. My report will be very brief. I have a gift and a card here for Kayla Hewitt to thank her for her service on the board. It's been a pleasure serving with you. Been a very insightful and thoughtful board member, and I know you're very passionate about our district, so thank you for your service.
Thank you. You have all been really wonderful to work with. And I trust that our schools are in good hands. Oh, I'll still be here.
All right, we move on to the fun part of our meeting. The academic affairs report. Yeah, that's it. We're on to this already.
But the fun, I think, was sarcastic in my comment. That's all right. I'm not offended. Okay. Tonight we move on to second read, and so when these policies are approved, they are adopted, just as a reminder. I will read them in blocks, and then I will ask if there's a motion to move them forward from second read, right? And then you'll have opportunity for discussion if you want to make additional comments. I know that we need to discuss DBJ because Brody presented an edited version, which is in your packet. So when we get to that one, I might pull that one out separately.
Tom had another one too. He emailed us about it. I haven't been able to.
Oh, Tom, did you send an email?
I think it was, you had edits to DIE.
Oh, the morbid one. Okay, so.
Actually, there are quite a few edits to that, including correcting a statute. So
Okay.
it might be better to take back to the...
Okay, let's pull them both out then. We'll pull out A and C when we get to the second block, and we can talk about those two on their own. Okay, so first block, recommended for reaffirmation at second read. The policies are DDA, the Wood Estate Expendable Trust Fund, DGA, authorized signatures, DH, bonded employees and officers, DIA, fund balances, DIH, fraud prevention and fiscal management, DK, payments, checks, and manifests, DM, cash in school buildings. Is there a motion to move the reaffirmation block past second read for approval?
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Thank you. So moved by Mary, seconded by Brody. Any discussion? Seeing none, Kathy, could you call the roll?
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Aye.
Thank you. I will read the next block of policies recommended for revision. I will not read A or C. We'll skip past those and then we'll come back around because they both have more to talk about. So, recommended for revision, moving beyond second read, policy DFGA, crowdfunding, appropriate for tonight, DJE, bidding requirements, DKB, preschool payment policy, DN, district properties sales disposition, IMBA, remote learning, JFABD, admission of homeless students, JLCE, first aid and emergency medical care. Is there a motion to move this block of policies for revision from second read to approved? Thank you, Kirsten.
I'll second. Or, no, Kayla second.
Seconded by Kayla. Any discussion? Seeing none, Kathy, will you call the roll?
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna do the last easy one, and then we'll come back to the gnarly mess. We have one policy recommended for withdrawal tonight. That is DFE, royalties. Do I have a motion to move?
So moved.
Thank you, Brody.
Second.
Second by Nate. Any discussion? I would like a policy on intellectual property, just saying. Okay, seeing none? Kathy?
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Aye.
Great, okay. We will go back. So the first policy recommended for revision that we pulled out of that block is policy DBJ, transfer of appropriation. And in your packet, you have a suggested revision made by Brody DeShays.
Can I move my revision?
Sure.
I'm going to make, for discussion, a motion to move my revision, my recommended proposed edits for policy DBJ.
So you would like us to adopt the policy DBJ as amended?
No, I'm moving my amendment.
You don't want to move the policy as amended?
I want to have a discussion and see if...
We're still going to discuss it.
Either way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I'll move it as amended.
Okay.
But I know I need to move my amendment eventually, right?
You don't. No.
No, okay.
Second. Any discussion? Do you want to talk about it?
Okay, yeah. If the board will indulge me, I just would like to walk through my amendment. So the key thing with the amendment is, so I had requested almost 3 years ago now that we adopt a policy like DBJ. And I had the belief that, my personal belief was that the board should have more oversight, more purview over determining what money should be moved between lines. And I believe that there were significant large amounts of money being moved between lines out of special ed and into other budgets. And I was extremely wrong in that assumption. I do think it's important for the board to understand how these financial practices work and what the standard operating procedures are, and to be kept apprised of large movements of money between lines. However, I think what we've found is that these large transfers of money are typically within the same special education services lines and the same types of services provided, and it just depends on what age level to be able to pay different contracts. So what this amendment proposes is to allow the superintendent or the business administrator to transfer funds. It also would allow the superintendent or the business administrator, with the superintendent's permission, to ask the board to vote on proposed transfer of funds from an unexpended balance of one appropriation to a different appropriation that is in deficit, so they can come to the board when they think that there are times where we should be weighing in on maybe significant transfers of funds. It also requires the superintendent or a business administrator to report any transfers of funds between lines of $10,000 or greater to the school board, and that they report it as part of the board's meeting materials at the next regularly scheduled meeting or within 45 days, whichever is sooner. So in my opinion, I think it should just be reported to us as all of our other financial reporting, where we get our monthly budget update and other financial reports. So we're still receiving the information, but that we don't have to make a vote on every single time that there is a transfer of funds of, let's say, about $20,000 between the speech pathologist line for elementary to middle school. I think it's important that we still receive this information, and what I heard at the last board meeting, that seemed like something a majority of the board wanted, but I was trying to think of a way to make it so then that this is less administratively burdensome and less concerning to the admin because of the timing of our meetings and being able to pay bills. So that is why I'm moving this amendment, and I would appreciate the rest of the board's support.
Other discussion? Tom?
Brody, thank you for making your proposed amendments. I look at this policy, and this policy is an oversight policy of the board over the administration. And what I'd like to make clear, it's not about this administration, it's about future administrations. And so I think that it should stay what it has been. And in some instances, the law requires that. 3210, it gives the board authority, not the superintendent. The idea is the board oversees the administration and the use of funds. So I'm opposed to this. yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but I am absolutely opposed.
Thank you, Tom. Other comments?
I just have one. I think my only comment is the way RSA 3210 is written is that it empowers political subdivisions to make line item transfers in doing the typical business. And it's usually the state defers to the governing bodies of those political subdivisions to determine local process. And our local process before was we were never told when there were line item transfers, and we never made approvals prior to the adoption of policy DBJ. The board wanted to know more about these line item transfers, and I just think it's a lot to ask for us to have to approve every single line item transfer in a $70 million budget of over 5,000 or over 10,000 after having done this for the last 2 years. It is just my personal belief that receiving these reports and knowing about it and being able to go talk to Kathy O and ask questions about it. And I also think that there's nothing that would prohibit the board from asking for an explanation of a line item transfer be added to the agenda. So we never had a problem prior to us adopting DBJ, although I thought there was one. Adopting DBJ hasn't posed a problem, but it has created some concerns for our administrators in being efficient in their work. And I do think that these edits to DBJ strike a balance of the need for transparency, but also with the need for effectiveness and efficiency in the SAU office. So I'm trying to bring it as a compromise rather than getting rid of the policy, because I see the value in receiving this information. So that's all I'll leave it at.
Any other thoughts? Mary?
I haven't played with this yet. Is this how I do it? Yes, must be. I appreciate the perspective. This helps me a lot because this is not a strength area of mine, although I participated, of course, and I'm trying to learn, but with the caveat that at any time we can ask for clarification. Any member of the board can ask for clarification. And the fact that we're taking into consideration the time it takes for what we know historically is a very efficient and capable SAU, we're still going to hold that oversight as well as our role as a board. So
I'll defer to Kathy. If we ask you a question about a line item transfer, would you answer it?
absolutely, and I have backup.
Any other comments? Okay, I'll make mine. So I thought about this policy sort of more than I probably should have over the last month. And I was hesitant about the threshold change in our original discussion in the policy in academic affairs. I'm not hesitant about it now. I think the $10,000 increase, I think that that's really fair given the size of our budget. I like that you've suggested a way that the board will continue to get good information about where the balance is being retooled based on needs during the school year. The thing that's bothering me about this revision is this new paragraph that says that they may ask the board to vote on a proposed transfer. I mean, it just, there's no direction as to when they would have to. And like, not that I wouldn't trust Kathy or the SAU to come to us if something was really unexpected and surprising, but there's no guardrails here whatsoever. So I'm not totally comfortable with that addition presently as written. To me, it's complete deference to the SAU. And to Tom's point, like, we have good people now, but nobody knows what's going to happen in 10 years. Right, and so we have a duty to also protect the policy guardrails for this board in the future. So that's what my thoughts are.
You want me to get to speak? So I think the purpose of the second paragraph was to make it clear that that the superintendent or the business administrator with the superintendent's permission are allowed to come to the board, that they would be permitted to clarify that, because without that, it just seemed as if it would just be the superintendent and business administrator, and they would just make the decision that they couldn't have the option of coming to the board. And I think there might be times where they do want to come to the board, depending on the circumstances, and I trust them, and especially, I mean, to be blunt, if the superintendent did something repeatedly that we disliked, I mean, she's our employee. I think we would remand her in the appropriate setting, and it would come up during her evaluation, and it would also come up in discussions of future contracts. So I'd have faith that the superintendent would definitely accommodate the desires of the board when it comes to fiscal reporting.
I also think that she would be, Caroline, I don't think you're shy about bringing stuff to us that you want us to vote on. Not shy. So I would maybe suggest something, keeping this in mind, which seems to be already practice, but also something along the lines of will come to ask the board for a proposed transfer of funds for whatever the board feels comfortable with, extreme circumstances, highly unusual circumstances, something well beyond the pale, not speech-language pathology up and down from elementary to middle school. Exceptional circumstances.
Maybe change the may in that first line to shall. And then at the end, get rid of the period and say in exceptional circumstances.
Yeah, so my only comment was that I think it was unnecessary before. I don't have a problem with the way it would be written with that change. I guess my overall comment is I just don't, it seems like in the 2 years that this policy's existed, changing 5,000 to 10,000 is not going to change the level of, like, it won't change anything in practice, so I don't feel strongly about it either way.
That's true.
And with those, I don't know who seconded my motion, but whoever seconded my motion, are you okay with those changes to my?
Who did second? Kathy?
You did.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I made them, so I'm good with it.
And I'm fine. I'll
Okay.
express to the board, I'm fine with that too. And I think an exceptional circumstance might be, for example, a default budget. I think that's a time where the board clearly, that would be an exceptional circumstance where we weigh in on line item transfers.
Okay, any other? Yes, Tom?
Thank you. In going back, excuse me, going back to the first paragraph, the first paragraph says, in the event it becomes necessary to expend an amount greater than what was appropriated for a specific purpose, and then board is scratched out, superintendent or business administrator is authorized to transfer funds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All transfer of appropriations will be made consistent with provisions of 3210. The first sentence in paragraph 1 of 3210 says if changes arrive during the year following the annual meeting and make it necessary to expend more than the amount appropriated for a specific purpose, the governing body may transfer to that appropriation in an unexpended balance, remaining in some other appropriation provided, however, that, and then goes into exceptions to that. But I think that the law keeps the authority with the board.
I have a different interpretation, but I won't go back and forth. And I think with superintendents and school districts and town manager form of government, it's much more, I think with school districts and town manager form of government, it's a lot more complicated. For example, like the Wolfeboro Board of Selectmen, the town manager has a lot more authority to transfer and to even hire and fire employees to transfer those.
That's apples to oranges.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. 3210 written like that might assume you're a municipality with a town administrator, where the town administrator doesn't have the same authorities as a town manager or a superintendent. So I guess that's kind of my point, is 3210, I just have a different interpretation, Tom, and we'll just have to agree to disagree.
Tom, would you be
I'm fine with striking that sentence too, if that's the issue.
would you be more amenable to that sentence being rewritten to say,
the board authorizes the superintendent or business administrator to transfer funds and make it an active where the responsibility still lies with the board.
I'm very hesitant to give automatic authorizations.
Okay.
There's a reason the law's been written.
Okay.
And I don't think that we can chip away at the law as we would like. I think we have to abide by it.
Okay, so no change.
Correct.
Okay. Any other discussion on this policy?
My only comment, it seems a little more wishy-washy than, and I feel like if we're gonna make policy, we should have less wishy-washy and just straight, like I just read over the original, it seems to be a lot more cut dry versus, this one seems to have a lot more area for interpretation. If we're gonna make policy, I would think you'd want it to be more, because then we run into problems like, run into problems later on.
Okay.
If we have too much gray area, would be my advice.
I agree. Are you indicating you won't be supporting the change?
I guess I'm leaning back towards the original from the Academic Affairs Committee, so.
Okay. Any other discussion? I think we need to vote. So the motion on the floor presently is to accept this policy as amended with the change from this evening in the second paragraph, which I can give to you, Kathy, if it passes, or it might be a moot point. So if this was voted down, we would return to the original suggested revision of the policy from the committee. Okay, so can we take the vote? Great.
Tom?
No.
Kirsten?
No.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
No.
Mary?
No.
Dr. Beth?
No.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
No.
Brody?
Aye.
3 yeses. 6 noes.
Thank you. What? Well, we accept the original revision as suggested by the Academic Affairs Committee.
We accept the original, the Academic Affairs recommended revisions to DBJ.
Second.
Moved by Brody, seconded by Nate. Any discussion? Kathy, if you could call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Aye.
Thank you for a productive and healthy discussion. Moving on, last policy for the evening is policy DIE, Annual Audit and Review. I don't have materials on this, so Tom, would you like to speak to? I do have it.
Sure.
Here.
Would you use a mic?
Yeah.
Someone just asked the mic.
Thank you. At the last board meeting, I was instructed to go back and take a look at this annual audit review because I had concerns about its language. And as I looked into it more deeply and read the statutes that underlie it, I found that I don't think it doesn't provide the guidance that's needed for the annual audit review. So maybe I could just read down through it.
If you'd like, are you suggesting that it goes back to the committee?
I think that would probably be a better way of doing it than hashing it out
Okay.
tonight.
I'll make a motion to.
Return DIE to committee.
What's the word that you use for when you're re-refer back to committee?
Sure.
A motion by Brody to refer this policy back to committee for further analysis, discussion, revision. Seconded by Kirsten.
Speak to my motion.
If you like.
I think the Academic Affairs Committee will do an excellent job workshopping this at their next meeting and not tonight.
Which will be pre-spaghetti dinner, so.
Oh, yeah.
Good by me. Okay. Kathy, any other discussion? Great. Kathy?
Tom?
Yes.
Kristen?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary? Yes. Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Aye.
That concludes the Academic Affairs Committee report.
Oh, yeah, yep. All right, let's see. Next committee report is buildings and maintenance. Dr. Jim has informed me Kirsten is doing the report tonight, so Kirsten, you could provide us with the buildings and maintenance report.
It's working. Okay. So we got an update about Carpenter. So that's going well. Did you mention that you were going to be doing tours, though, at our next? Happy to share that. Would you like me to share? Yes, I would love for that to be shared with the public. Thank you so much. So at our before our next board meeting, so the next board meeting is scheduled to be at Carpenter. Happy to report it will still be held at Carpenter. And before the board meeting, I will announce that we will open it up for tours to the public. So that'll be right before the board meeting on April 6th, probably around 5 o'clock. Thank you. Great, thank you. We also received an update on water remediation across several schools. Ossipee Central School has completed its work through the Get the Lead Out program. Certificates of completion will be posted on the school websites for Carpenter School, Crescent Lake, Effingham Elementary, Ossipee Central School, and Kingswood Regional High School, including the Lakes Region Tech Center and the Kingswood Art Center. New Durham Elementary will be fully compliant once some additional work is completed during April break and over the summer, and the middle school and Tuftonboro Central School are still working through a few remaining items. At Ossipee Central School, the roof is currently dealing with an ice dam caused by heavy snow buildup. Got that right? Right? Ice dam. Okay.
No.
Yes, exactly.
What was I? The roofing company has treated the roof with calcium chloride to help melt the ice, and then they will assess the needed repairs once the snow clears in the spring. We also discussed the district bus replacement cycles, and the district typically leases 3 buses each year, though that was increased to 4 last year. Those buses are eventually purchased at the end of the lease term, and we did need to add another wheelchair bus to the fleet this year. In total, the district operates 38 student vehicles, including 77 passenger buses, wheelchair buses, and several vans. And there is a grant that they're looking to do to help fund a new bus. And then finally, there will be a public hearing in Ossipee regarding a property located across from the school. And I didn't have a date on that. Do you?
That wasn't a butters letter.
And a butters letter.
I think it was
that
like the next day.
That night, yeah, the next night.
Yeah.
So it happened?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
it's happened, so. Ice cream across the street.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is that a public hearing notice for their zoning board of adjustments or planning board? Like, do you know what they are in the process?
I got the letter.
I think it was planning. I think it was planning.
Thank you. Nate says it's planning.
I think it's planning.
Would you be able to share the copy of the letter with me? I'd be curious. I might want to go to the hearing if I'm available.
It's already happened.
Apparently it already happened.
Yeah, we had a building and maintenance committee meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, the building maintenance meeting
We
was.
didn't have much notice.
Is it videoed? Do we know?
Yes, I think so, yeah. Government, I think it's on the government
Go-
website.
I gotta ask Ed Camo.
Yeah.
I'll ask Ed Camo.
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Great report, excellent. So many wonderful things. I appreciate you sharing it with the entire board.
Thank you.
We'll move on to community relations. Mr. Williams.
We didn't have a meeting, but get out and vote tomorrow. Review the community relations message, and we should schedule one before our next board reorganization.
Yep.
Or after. Which is after next month, right? So.
Whatever.
All right, and finance committee, same thing. Vote for the operating budget. It's less than the default. If you vote no, you will be asking us to spend more money than we're asking. Support the rest of the warrant. We're making targeted investments in our students' futures. And the other thing I want to mention under my finance committee report is we need to schedule a review of our annual audit, which I believe is done with Kathy O. And I'd like to do that in April, and I'd like to get something on the books soon. But now I'm kind of realizing at this point in the game, we're going to reorganize in a month. So maybe we want to wait until the April meeting to schedule that. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I don't think Kayla's going to want to review the audit with us in April because he won't be on the board anymore, so asking you. Okay, well that concludes my finance committee report. The final report is human resources. Get out, support their Article 3 is the WIA teacher's contract. So support Article 3. It's a fair, is it 4?
Or one election, 2 is operating budget, so I guess.
It's 3.
Sorry, thank you.
It's 3. It's right in here.
It is in the warrant, the copy of it we have in our meeting packet. At any rate, it's Article 3. It's a fair contract. It does justice to the taxpayers and to the employees. It makes targeted, reasonable pay enhancements that they need for us to recruit and retain quality employees to educate our students. Non-committee reports. Mary.
Oh,
I would like to recognize our videographers way back there, who we have volunteers who, he's paid staff, and thank you, without whom these meetings that have been historically recorded and archived for the historic record, without them this couldn't be accomplished. An appreciation to the community as well, supporting WCTV last year in a very critical year, and this year is our second year, a greater expansion of content and programming, including the school district, government meetings, and the community. So if anybody's out there listening and you have a business or a one-off, I know I'll just spill the beans a little bit. WCTV is going to be recording the Maker's Mill Upcycle fashion show. So some things are just one-offs. They're not just every Thursday or whatever. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Closing activities. Advanced planning. So future meeting dates and events, so that we have no school tomorrow. It's in-service staff and district voting. So some of our buildings will be used for voting. And get out. We have municipal and school district elections, so get out and vote. Support the school district warrant. The 16th of March is the academic affairs meeting, 5 p.m. at the, it's at New Durham School, correct?
The Academic Affairs Committee meeting will now be held at 3 p.m. at New Durham School. Prior to their annual spaghetti dinner, please come. It's a really fun event. It's pretty cheap for a meal too, $5. But spaghetti dinner starts at 5 to 7.
Thank you, Dr. Beth. And April 6th is our next school board meeting at Carpenter School. I don't know if I'm going to be able to attend. It's my wife's birthday, so I might try to attend. I may go to the reorganization, but I think after we reorganize, I might skedaddle. So I still haven't decided. And I think I also have a ZBA meeting that night, and I don't think there's any way I'm going to the ZBA meeting if it's my wife's birthday. I can justify school board reorganization. I can't justify ZBA hearings on a Monday when it's her birthday. Yes?
One other advanced planning, I think in your blue folder, it came in today, but the
Oh,
board
yeah.
received an invitation.
I got it, the art. Was it just me who got it? We have arts
On behalf
night.
of the board.
Okay, we are invited to Kingswood Arts Night, March 19th, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, KRHS Art Center, grades 7 through 12. Art exhibits, musical performances. And someone made this?
Yes.
Wow, this is impressive.
6 to 9.
6 to what?
Yeah, here.
Time again?
6 to 8 p.m.
6 to 8, March 19th. I'm going to pass if you want to look at this. But yeah, so I'm going to try to make it to the reorganization. I think it's important that every board member participate, but I can't promise that I'll stay for the entire board meeting. You know, maybe even, I know, Nate, I'm a sucker, aren't I?
Once a month.
It's once a month.
Organization is once a year.
Yeah, so, and it just so happens it's the same day as my wife's birthday. So at any rate.
I went to the just.
But if I went to the board meeting on my birthday, my wife would be like, "You love that. That's like a, you know." But I wouldn't. So but when it's on her birthday, it's a little different. So I'll talk with the superintendent, and I don't know. I'll let the board know what I'll ultimately be doing. I'll try to be there for some of the non-public too. At any rate, so our next thing is public input. 15 minutes, 3 minutes per individual, unless extended by the vote of the board. Please state your first name, or your full name, town of residence, and be respectful. Direct your comments to the board, not to others in the crowd.
Tisha Daniels, Wolfeboro. Thank you for using microphones.
Unnamed townsperson.
Thank you, unnamed townsperson. We appreciate your public input. Is there any additional public input from unnamed townspersons? Seeing none, I'll close the public input, and I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Jim, seconded by Nate Williams.
Aw.
Oh, was it?
It was all in favor.
Say la vie. If you could call the roll, please, Kathy.
Tom?
Yes.
Kirsten?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Dr. Beth?
Yes.
Danielle?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Brody?
Brody, aye.
You want me to-